Hi everybody, it's Joleen. I am back with a practice for my element series, and this one is about the element of water. Water is about our emotions, our intuition, and our more feminine side. As you can see, I brought Kuan Yin down for practice tonight. She's the divine feminine, ultimate feminine. So thinking about that, and also the moon. The moon's a very watery, feminine energy. It does, after all, control the tides, right? And controls the water. So let's get started. If you have a block, it's not required, but if you have one, go ahead and grab that. And let's take a seat on our mats. And just do tonight what feels comfortable for you. Go with your body, go with the flow of the practice, and I hope you enjoy it. So beginning tonight, we can be up sitting on our knees and sit back kind of on our heels. You can also sit on your block, bringing it sideways, and giving ourselves a couple moments. If this is not comfortable for you, just sit down on a cross-legged position. The mudra for water is called Jala, and it's Jala, bringing your pinky finger and your thumb together. You can just simply bring your hands resting on your knees. And close your eyes and just find your breath here, letting go of the day, whatever has happened thus far, just being present here for the next 45 minutes or so. I will include a short savasana tonight. There will be a matching meditation for the water element on my YouTube also, so hopefully you can enjoy that after you do this video. Just finding your breath, breathing down all the way into your belly through your nose. And breathing out, bringing that conscious breathing in. Sitting up nice and tall again, cross-legged position, or on your knees, on your block, if you have one. And pressing our pinky and thumb together. Maybe moving them a little bit, feeling the energy between the two as you rub your fingers together. And finding tonight Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath is constricting the muscles in your throat on the exhale and making a little bit of an ocean sound. So you'll inhale as normal through your nose all the way into your belly. Then on your exhale, you'll tighten the muscles in your throat, making an audible sound on your exhale, sounding a little bit like the ocean. So just find that for yourself, taking a couple rounds. Ujjayi is a very cleansing breath. With the ocean sound, I tend to associate it with the element of water, clearing our emotions, making way for our intuition to be heard. Bringing focus now, setting an intention for your practice, if that is within what you'd like to do tonight. Maybe something related to your intuition, to letting go of anything you don't need anymore so you can hear your intuition more clearly. Or just enjoying the flow of the practice tonight. One more round of breath here. And simply bringing your hands now onto your knees, or maybe back onto your ankles if you're sitting in a kneeling position. Take a nice deep inhale and rise up a little bit with your shoulders. Exhale them down your back, and let's tip our head over to the right hand side. Take a round of breath here, just feeling a nice stretch up your neck, letting go of any tension you might be holding. And then inhaling, coming back to the center, bring your shoulders up again. And as you exhale, shoulders down your back and tip your head to the left. Inhaling, coming back to neutral. Let's raise our arms up, inhale overhead, just getting a nice stretch here. Again, you can be seated if you'd like to come into cross-legged position anytime, coming off of your knees. Exhale and actively push your arms back down, maybe floating your fingers a little bit, wiggling them, bringing some movement into our hands. Inhale up and exhale, actively pushing down, kind of like rainfall, right? Inhaling up one more time. Exhale. Let's come down gently with our fingers. Here, bringing our hands to our heart. Let's do a couple wrist stretches here. Inhale, extend your arms out forward. As you exhale, turn your right hand, press it with your left, and feel a little bit of a stretch come up your forearm. Just working on any tension we might have from the day, typing, smartphones, computers. Inhale back to the center. Exhale and pressing the other hand. And still taking that Ujjayi breath any time that you'd like to during practice. Inhale your hands back to the center into your heart as you exhale. Inhale your arms overhead. Let's start with some movement in our body as you exhale. Side stretching over to the right. Just starting to warm up here, getting ready for the flow of tonight's practice. We will include moon flows because the moon, of course, as I said earlier, inhale up and exhale over to your left, controls the water. Next inhale, coming back to the center. Exhale and take a gentle twist over to your right, looking over your shoulder, sitting up tall still. Inhale, come back to the center, stretching overhead. Exhale, turn and twist to your left. Inhale, stretching back up to the center, neutral. Exhale, hands come floating back to your heart. Let's come forward into tabletop position. You can just move your block off to the side, keeping it handy for anywhere that you might want to use it during practice tonight. Bring your toes together, your knees wide to the side of your mat. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, coming into child's pose. You can also use your block here to rest your forehead, so I'm going to demonstrate that. That can be on any level here. Coming back to Ujjayi breath, let's take a couple rounds, making that ocean sound, constricting your throat muscles on your exhale. Making adjustments anywhere that you might need them, with or without your block. Next inhale, come rise back up to tabletop position. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Inhale, let's go through cat and cow. So inhaling, looking forward, dropping your belly button towards the floor. Inhale to cow pose. Exhale, rounding, pushing into cat pose. 2 more rounds here. Inhale, flowing, opening to cow, warming up our spine. Exhale, coming into cat. Inhale, rising one last time, starting to open our heart to cow pose, looking forward. And exhale, rounding, cat pose. On your inhale, coming back to neutral tabletop position. On your exhale, let all the air out and float your hips back towards your heels. You can be wide-legged here, or maybe bringing your legs in a little bit, back to child's pose. And again, resting your head on your block if you have one. You can also cross your hands whenever you're in child's pose and rest your forehead on your wrist if that's comfortable for you. On your next inhale, just coming forward up into tabletop position, and then we're going to come around to seated staff pose. So bringing your legs out in front of you, just shake them out a little bit, making good contact with the mat with your sit bones, sitting up nice and tall in staff pose. I'll actually turn to the side here. Bring your legs out, not super wide, but wide, maybe approaching the corners of your mat as we inhale and stretch up, and we exhale as we hinge at our hips and come forward into our first forward bend. Just taking it easy here as we get warmed up, maybe pedaling your feet, pushing through one hand and then the other. As you inhale, coming up maybe a little bit, and exhale, coming a little bit more forward into your bend. Another round of breath here, and if you're not reaching your feet, you're like, that's not in my practice, you can hold on to your ankles, even just bringing your hands down into the center here. Inhale and come up and reach overhead. We're going to take that twist again. As you exhale, turn and twist. Inhale and rise overhead. Exhale, turn and twist the other way. Taking a check, if you do have a mirror, you can see if you're setting up nice and tall as I'm checking in the camera. Inhale and reach overhead, and exhale, come forward again, maybe a little bit further this time. Inhale, rise back to the center. As you exhale, your hands come to your heart. Coming into a wider stance now, so bring your legs into a V. I sometimes like to just have my block out in front of me as a kind of a place to rest my hands. Pushing through your feet actively. You can even raise your heels a little bit off of your mat. Let's inhale and come to the center as we exhale. Coming into forward fold again. Your block is here. You can also grab onto your feet. Just find what works for you. Trying to maintain flat back here and not rounding. Really keeping our chest kind of open to the front. Again, pressing actively through the heels. Using your block if it's around in your practice to kind of reach for it, or coming in and grabbing onto your feet or your ankles or your shins. Let's inhale and come up and rise back to the center. As we exhale, coming over to the side, going to your right. Reaching through that the top hand actively. Again, another nice place to use your block if you'd like to put it down by your leg, by your shin, by your foot, and kind of reaching over to use it to kind of open your chest a little bit more, turning towards the sky. Inhale and come back to the center. Exhale and go to your left. If needed, bringing your block with you. Again, Ujjayi breath is available to you anytime. Inhale and come rise back to the center. We're going to come forward. Again, exhale, hinging at your hips. Coming forward using your block. Or hands can be on the ground, wherever's comfortable for you. One more round of breath here. Inhale and rising back to the center. As you exhale, bring the soles of your feet together. We'll be coming into bound angle pose. Inhale and sitting up nice and tall. Exhale if you'd like to come a little bit forward, or you can stay seated upright into bound angle. Coming back to your intention as we're breathing here, bringing the opening into our hips. Our hips hold emotions associated with the water element. It's our emotional side. What was the intention that you set for practice? Inhale and rise back to the center. Extend both legs. They can be in like a mini wide bend here. As you exhale, come forward again. Inhale and rise back to the center. Bring your hands together as you float to your heart. Let's come into Cobra. Flow. So coming down onto your belly, tops of your feet are grounded into your mat, your hands will be by your chest. As you inhale, just rising a little bit, back bend from your lower back. Exhale, come halfway down and make this flowing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, rising back to Cobra and holding here. Not straining your neck, shoulders will be back and down. Inhale, come a little bit higher, maybe half an inch, quarter of an inch. And exhale, come all the way down and turn your head. You can rest on your mat here for a moment. Coming back to the center, you can stay there with Cobra or add on High Cobra or Up Dog. Hands by your chest. A High Cobra as you inhale will be here. An Up Dog will be raising your knees off of your mat. And then exhale, coming down. So inhale either Cobra, a High Cobra, Up Dog, and exhale, floating down. And choosing your pose here, inhale, and we're going to hold, coming back to Ujjayi breath. Next exhale, floating all the way down to your mat. Turn your head the opposite way of what we did before. Rest your head on your mat. Inhale, coming back to neutral, pushing yourself back up to tabletop position. Exhale, and come back, taking a child's pose here. Next inhale, coming back to tabletop. Let's curl our toes under as you exhale. Bring yourself into down dog. You can bicycle your feet here. Taking a couple breaths. Maybe coming up on your tiptoes, and as you exhale, pressing your heels towards the mat. Inhale and come forward to plank pose here just for a moment. And you can drop to your knees, being in half plank. On an exhale, gently come all the way down, elbows by your sides. Extending arms out in front of you. One last pose on our belly before we come up to standing. This will be locust variation. So as you inhale, raising your right arm, left leg. Exhale and drop. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Otherwise known sometimes as Superman. Exhale. But today we're going to be swimming. Inhale, right arm and left leg. Looking down at your mat, just gently, not straining your neck. Inhale, rising left arm, right leg. Pointing your toes. Let's do this a little bit faster. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, both legs and arms. If this is not in your practice, come back to one at a time. Exhale and come down. Let's do this a couple times. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, rising one last time. Let's kind of float our arms and legs as though we're swimming. Continue breathing, one more round. And exhale and release. Hands by your chest. Inhale, come back to tabletop. Curling your toes under as you exhale. Come back to down dog. Fingers will be wide. Starfish hands. Inhale, look forward at your hands. As you exhale, gently walk up to your hands into standing forward bend. Again, if your block is handy, you can use that in your forward bend on any side. Taking a nice round of breath here. Gently bend your knees. We're going to inhale and come all the way up, reaching overhead. Bring your hands together into prayer pose, coming back to the center. So now we are on mountain pose. We're going to come into our moon flows. So just following along here, these are modified moon flows, 3 sets. So just enjoying the flowing of the movement, enjoying the femininity versus sun salutations. And let's go ahead and go through 3 rounds together. Bring your hands to your heart. As you inhale, arms overhead, moon salute. Exhale, crescent moon, side stretch. To your right. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, going to your left. And your inhale, coming back to the center, moon salute. Exhale, step out into wide angle. Inhale, extend your arms to star pose. Exhale, come straight down into goddess squat. Inhale, rising back to star. Exhale, forward bend, wide angle. Inhale, coming back up, rising back to star, pushing through your feet, pushing through your hands. Bring your hands together overhead as you exhale. Come back to the top of your mat. That's half a round. We're going to go the other way now. Inhale, moon salute to the center. Exhale, crescent moon, going to your left. Inhale, coming back to the center. Exhale, crescent moon to the right. Inhaling, coming back to the center. Stepping out, opposite way this time. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, straight down, goddess. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, bend forward. Inhale, rising, coming all the way back up to star. Hands come together as you exhale, coming back to the top of your mat. 2 more rounds. Inhale, moon salute. Exhale, coming to the side, crescent moon. Inhale to the center. Exhale, going to the left. Inhale to the center. Exhale, stepping out. Inhale, rise to star. Exhale, straight down into your goddess squat. Inhale, rising back to star. Exhale, hands come together overhead, stepping back to the top. As you inhale, moon salute, extending overhead. Exhale, to your left, side stretch, crescent moon. Inhale to the center. Exhale. Inhaling, moon salute to the center. Exhale, stepping out. Inhale, rising to star. Exhale, straight down into goddess squat. Inhale, rise to star. And exhale, come forward. Inhale, rising back to star pose. And exhale, hands overhead. 1 last round each side. Inhale, moon salute. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale to the center. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale, center. Exhale, stepping out. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess squat. Inhale, rise to star. And exhale, come forward into your forward bend. Inhale, rising back, star pose. Exhale, hands overhead. Back to the top of your mat, last round. Inhale. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale, center. Exhale, side stretch the other way. Inhale, rising back to the center. Exhale, stepping out, star pose. Exhale, come down into goddess squat. We're going to hold here for a moment, just enjoying your goddess squat, readjusting yourself. Maybe playing with this a little bit, you can come up on your toes, coming down a little bit further, bring your arms overhead. Inhale and rising back up to star pose. Extend your arms as you exhale, coming forward. Forward bend. We're going to hang out here for a couple rounds of breath. If you'd like to do a couple side lunges, bending one knee, keeping the other leg straight, you can do that. Just be mindful of your knees at all times. Next inhale, let's rise back up to star pose. Exhale, hands come to your heart and step to the top. Regrouping now, mountain pose. Taking a moment here and just taking a scan of your body. How does it feel after the moon flows and the stretches that we've done today? Thanking yourself for taking the time to practice and coming back to your intention, listening to your intuition, and even bring your thumbs to your third eye here if that was part of your intention tonight or today, whenever you're practicing this video. Next inhale, we're going to extend overhead. As you exhale, coming into your forward bend. Hanging out here for a moment. If you'd like to, again, bicycle your legs. We're going to plant our hands as we bend our knees. Your next exhale, step back to down dog. And then your next inhale, come down onto your knees. Your exhale brings you back to your child's pose. And then coming just gently back up to sit back on your heels. We're going to come into Dolphin Pose. So I'm going to demo this. Dolphin is a preparatory pose for headstand. I'm not going to demo headstand tonight, but if you would like to take that as part of your practice, please just be careful and do that at your own level and your own option. So we'll come back into tabletop. We're going to come down onto our forearms. So bringing your palms flat on your mat at this point. Just kind of getting used to the feeling of pressing through your knees up into your hip area and through your shoulders. I usually like to bring my hands then together. You can interlace here, and we're just simply going to come back into our plank. So you can also be here on your knees. I'm just going to adjust so I have a little bit more room. Knees or forearm plank. Nice and steady here. To come to dolphin then, if you're on your knees, you're going to just kind of walk yourself a little bit up and then try and meld your heart down by your mat. If you are coming full into dolphin from your plank, just walking yourself up, walking your feet up until you're in that inverted V. And this will serve as our inversion tonight. Full dolphin pose. Coming back to that Ujjayi breath. And then when you're ready, just coming down onto your knees and taking a child's pose. And I'll give you option here to come back into your dolphin, or as I said, if headstand is in your practice, that's a great thing to do here. You can also just be in your plank, forearm plank, half plank. Just take a couple moments here, yogi's choice, to modify and play with your dolphin pose as feels good to you today. Remembering to use that Ujjayi breath. Take another moment here in your practice. When you are ready, we are going to meet seated position, staff pose. Legs extended out in front. Coming back to your breath, sitting up tall. Let's take a nice forward bend as we inhale, our arms overhead. Exhale, come forward. Feeling the effects of the inversion. Inhale and come back up. And exhale. Your hands to your heart. We'll take a couple stretches before we come on to our backs. This will be half load of the fishes. No water practice is complete without that. Bringing your right leg over your left, sitting up nice and tall. Option here, you can also bend your bottom knee. Inhale and rise up, sitting up nice and tall, both sit bones. Exhale, turn and twist to your right over your bent knee on top, looking over your back shoulder. Again, your bottom leg can be bent or extended straight. So you can try both ways with that and see how that feels in the twist. And next inhale, unravel yourself. Bring both legs straight. Inhale your arms overhead and exhale. Take that forward bend. Inhale, coming back to the top. Let's do the other side. So bringing the right leg over left. Oh no, I think we went the other way. So we'll go left leg over right this time, whatever your other way was. And again, you can be straight with your bottom leg or come back and have it bent for a little extra hip opening. Inhale, your arm overhead. Exhale, turn and twist, looking over your shoulder. Inhale, arms overhead, unravel, and exhale, bend forward. And then releasing, just coming back to staff pose. We're going to come onto our backs with bridge pose. So if you do have your block, you can use that in bridge pose, fish pose, and then we will be ready for a couple spinal twists and shavasana. So come on down onto your back. Knees will be bent, feet flat on the floor. Again, have your block handy if that's something available to you. You do not have to have it, it's optional. Bridge pose, bringing your hands down by your hips. Setting up your feet flat on the floor as you inhale, just raising your hips off of the floor, bringing them up towards the sky. Again, block can be used under your lower back if you want to come into a supported bridge here. Or exhaling, coming back down onto the floor. And doing a couple rounds of flowing bridge, or again, coming into your supported bridge with your block is really nice. And your block again could be any level, so you can even bring it long ways if you really want to come into a full back bend here, more expansion. And kind of playing with that bridge pose. Playing with the flow, inhale, rising, and then exhaling one vertebrae at a time back down to the floor. Let's do that a couple more times, inhaling, rising your hips, and exhaling, releasing. One last bridge, inhaling, pressing through your heels. Exhale, come all the way back down. We're going to finish up with fish pose. So extending your legs along your mat. Fish is going to be a little lift from your lower back, and you can bring your hands into kind of like a triangle here underneath your lower back, coming up onto your elbows. Be very careful of your neck. Again, whatever's in your practice at your own option. So fish will be coming back up and bringing your elbows underneath you so that you can tip your head back into a nice back bend. Really opening up here. A great way to end the practice tonight, or today, or this morning, whatever you're practicing. Just be careful if you're touching your head onto the mat. Again, don't turn your head. And then gently just coming back down onto your back. Let's bring our knees into our chest. Grab onto your shins. You can roll back and forth. This feels really good right now. We're going to end with spinal twist. So bringing your feet flat on the floor, bring your arms out into a T. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhaling, tipping your knees over to your left side, keeping your shoulders in contact with the mat. Just looking over your right hand. Using Ujjayi breath here, making that ocean sound. Closing your eyes. Inhaling, coming back to the center. Exhale, go the other way. Next inhale comes back to the center. And as you exhale, just extending your legs along your mat, coming into corpse pose. Bringing your hands down by your hips, palms open. You can come back to our Jala Mudra, pinky finger and thumb together. Just taking a few moments here to relax in Shavasana. And staying here, if your schedule allows it, for as long as you'd like. If it's time to end your practice, just rolling over onto your right side. Taking a quick moment in fetal position before you press yourself back up. Coming to seated, or again coming to your knees where we started our practice today. Jala Mudra, hands on your thighs, closing your eyes, taking your few last Ujjayi breaths here. And I hope you enjoyed today's practice dedicated to the element of water. If it's in your schedule today, I encourage you to next listen to the water meditation. And I wish you a wonderful day. Until next time, namaste. Thank you for joining me, yogis. I will see you for our next element very soon. Have a great day.